Hello and welcome back to the Infinite Potential Sports Mindset Podcast, the podcast that helps you unlock your athletic potential through the power of the mind. I'm your host, Isabel Tate, and in today's episode, we're diving into a crucial aspect of sports performance, concentration and focus. Excuse me. It's always the way. As soon as you start recording, you need to cough. I don't know what it is. So I'll explore techniques to improve your attention and stay in the zone during competition, which could be, racing, matches, games, whatever it is, whatever your sport is, this still applies. Before we begin, I'd love to remind you that if you're finding value in this content, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review and some stars, possibly 5. That's what I'd give me, but that's just me. Your support helps me reach more athletes and share these vital mental performance strategies. So I really, really appreciate it, is what I'm getting at. Now, let's dive into today's topic. Concentration and focus are often considered the cornerstones of peak athletic performance, because without them, where are you? The ability to maintain laser-like focus can be the difference between victory and defeat, regardless of your sport. Okay, just looking at ultra running, which I come from, you lose concentration. A, you could get lost. B, you forget to fuel yourself. C, your pace drops. All 3 things are not going to help you perform well. All right, so let's define what we mean by concentration and focus in sports. Concentration, that's hard to say when you say it repeatedly, is the ability to direct your attention to the task at hand, while focus is the skill of maintaining that attention over time. People often, get concentration and focus mixed up. Together, they allow you to stay in the zone, that state of flow where everything else fades away and you're completely immersed in your performance. It's an amazing place to be. But here's the thing, concentration and focus aren't just innate abilities, and quite frankly, they're in short supply in this day and age. But they are skills that can be developed and improved with practice. So let's explore some techniques to enhance those crucial mental skills. Firstly, mindfulness meditation. This practice involves focusing your attention on the present moment, which can be really hard, and typically by concentrating on your breath. So we normally, because it is so hard, we need something to focus on to keep us in the moment. I used to use a candle and just look at the flickering flame and find that helped. Regular mindfulness practice can significantly improve your ability to focus and resist distractions. Just like using phones has trained us to have low concentration and focus, we can reverse train and do things that improve it. So it's not all a lost cause. And to get started, try this simple exercise. Set a timer for 5 minutes, close your eyes and focus on your breath. When your mind wanders, and it will, so don't worry, just gently bring your attention back to your breath. Over time, increase the duration of your practice. Now, obviously, I'm not telling you to do anything that I would not do myself. And like I said, I used to do it with a candle and the flickering flame, but I know a lot of people find the breath easier. And man, I would set that timer for 5 minutes, and can well be the longest 5 minutes of your life the first few times you try it. As you get into it, it suddenly feels like super quick. But initially, it will feel like the longest 5 minutes of your life. So maybe even if you're really struggling, start with 2 minutes and then 3, 4, 5. But see how you go. Alrighty, number 2, the second item is visualization. So this technique involves mentally rehearsing your performance. By visualizing yourself executing your skills perfectly, you're training your mind to focus on the right cues during competition. Okay, so you've got to visualize it with all of your senses, though. This is super important, and all the feels, like you've really got to feel it. So try this before your next training session or practice or competition even, if you've left it that late. Spend 5 to 10 minutes visualizing yourself performing. Engage all your senses. What do you see, hear, and feel? And this is what I'm talking about. But, really, and not just feel as in the physical sense of touch, like the wind on your skin or the heat or the cold, but also what do you feel inside? And the more vivid and detailed your visualization, the more effective it will be. Every morning before my run, I sit on the couch to put on my shoes. It helps when you're running. And then I just close my eyes and I just visualize the run, especially if I'm going to be doing a quality session, and I visualize just powering through those hard intervals, although I don't think of them as hard in my mind, but you know what I mean. Um, and I just visualize, even if it's an easy run, I just visualize flowing and feeling at ease and easy pace, feeling easy but fast, And so I visualize always before, and then I get up and go for my run. And it always, if I ever forget to do that visualization, which I'm human, it happens occasionally, especially if I'm working, and because I get up at 5 every morning. So sometimes I'm a little bit befuddled in the brain. And sometimes it doesn't happen on very rare occasions. And the run never goes as well, unsurprisingly, to be honest. All right, number 3 is the spotlight technique. This involves imagining your focus as a spotlight. You can widen it to take in more information or narrow it to concentrate on specific details. Practice adjusting your spotlight during training to improve your ability to shift focus as needed during competition. And once again, this can be something I would practice, like I said, during training. You can't expect to hear about these things and then do them on competition day and expect it to work and then go, well, that didn't work, I'm not doing it again. It's just like anything. You got to practice it during training, and then you will notice a significant difference. Because by the time you get to competition or race day or whatever it is, it's super easy and it's just what you naturally do. Number 4, progressive muscle relaxation. This technique involves tensing, then relaxing different muscle groups in your body. It can help you recognize and release physical tension, which often accompanies mental distractions. Now, obviously, I don't recommend doing this during training, but beforehand. Okay, once again, when you're sitting there getting ready, you can do that, Scrunch up your face and then relax. Shoulders tight, relax. Arms tight, just tighten, then relax. All right, now let's talk about staying in the zone during competition. The zone or flow state is that magical place where you're fully immersed in your performance. Time actually seems to slow down. Actually, time almost doesn't seem to exist. And everything just clicks. And you look back on it and it's like, I can't even remember everything. You were just in the zone, and it's awesome. It truly is. So here are some strategies to help you find and maintain that state. Of course, it's one of those states that you can't try to get into, because as soon as you start trying, that's total opposite to getting into the zone. You have to allow it to happen. You cannot force this. But these strategies help to get you there. Once again, it's one of those things, don't focus on the outcome, focus on the process. If you focus on the process, you will get there. If you focus on the zone, the outcome, you won't get there. All right, so number 1, develop a pre-performance routine. A consistent routine before competition can help signal to your brain that it's time to focus. It's like before you go to bed and you have a sleep routine and your body goes, oh no, I know I'm going to sleep. It's the same thing. Pre-performance routine helps your body to know that now it needs to be at peak performance. So a pre-performance routine might include specific warm-up exercises, listening to a certain music. Some people like pump up, some people like calming, whatever, and can use visualization techniques as well. Another one is using trigger words or phrases. These are short, powerful words or phrases that you can use to quickly refocus your attention. For example, a basketball player might use smooth and soft before taking a free throw to focus on their shooting technique. I have ones for running, fast and free, and also I have 60 million of them that I bring out at different times, and they work amazingly. 3, practice mindful breathing. Deep, controlled breathing can help calm your nerves and center your focus. Try taking a few deep breaths before a crucial moment in your performance. And, if you're in one that doesn't slow down a lot, you can even just one as you're going, can help. Number 4, embrace the present moment. The zone is all about being fully present. It's impossible to be in the zone if you're thinking about the past or the future. It's just impossible. So train yourself to focus on the here and now rather than worrying about past mistakes or future outcomes, neither of them which you can influence, right? You can't do anything about past mistakes, and future outcomes will happen. All righty, so let's look at a real-world example of exceptional focus in action. In the 2008 Olympics, American swimmer Michael Phelps was competing in the 200-meter butterfly, and during the race, his goggles filled with water, leaving him basically blind, like you can't see. Have you ever tried looking through goggles full of water? Despite this major setback, Phelps maintained his focus, counted his strokes, not only won the race, but I just set a little world record. So this incredible feat was possible because Phelps had trained his mind to stay focused even in challenging situations. He had practiced swimming with his eyes closed and knew exactly how many strokes it took to get from one end of the pool to the other. When disaster struck, his laser-like focus enabled him to execute his race plan perfectly. Okay. Some people just go, that's it, it's over, it's a disaster. But no, focus. So now improving your concentration and focus isn't something that happens overnight. It won't happen overnight, but it will happen. It requires consistent practice and patience. So here are some techniques to incorporate into your or some tips to incorporate these techniques into your training. Start small. Number one, start small. Begin with short periods of focused practice and gradually increase the duration. Like I said with the mindfulness meditation, 5 minutes, although it doesn't sound that long, it can actually end up being really, really hard. So start small. Two, make it a daily habit. Don't do it for 3 or 4 days and go, well, this is crap, it's not working, I'm done. Right? You've got to give it more time than that. Incorporate focus exercises into your daily routine, even if it's just a few minutes each day. I don't do a whole lot of it, but I do it. 3, practice during training. Use focus techniques during your regular training sessions to bridge the gap between mental practice and physical performance. I do it. I use, the refocusing words. Like I was just doing some hill repeats today, and I noticed 3/4 of the way through one of them, I'd started to slow down. I got distracted. I started thinking something, I can't even remember what. And I just yelled out to myself, come on. I mean, I'm in the street, I don't care. And I just yelled, come on. And got me back in the present moment. Okay. So, you've got to do it during training. And that was during training. So, if you don't do it during training, once again, if you just pull these things out thinking it's going to work, if you just do it during competition, it's not going to work. And then you're going to say, Isabel's full of crap. She doesn't know what she's talking about. It doesn't work. I'm here to tell you it works, but you've got to practice it. You wouldn't turn up to your competition never having done any physical training going, but I've read about the physical training in a book, so it'll work if I just turn up on the day. That's not going to work. You're listening to me going, well, that would be stupid. No one would be stupid enough to do that. Well, people do that with mental training, and mental training is the same as physical training. You need to work on it. Okay. All right. 4, be patient. Remember, developing mental skill takes time. Be patient with yourself and celebrate small improvements. Just like you don't expect to do one training session and to be, amazingly different and fit and whatnot, right? You've got to do the practice and take the time, and that it takes time. So have the same, but people expect the mental training to work straight away. They truly do, and it just doesn't. And you have to put in the reps. So just do the work, have patience, and it will happen. Number 5 is seek professional help. Consider working with a sports mindset coach, a mental performance coach like myself, who can provide personalized strategies and feedback. I provide actual strategies personalized to the person's sport that I work with, and that help create, this mindfulness, and I have a variety of different strategies that I use to help people get in the zone, or to, really be in the moment, and to improve their performance and improve their concentration, improve their focus, all sorts of different ones. Alrighty, so as we wrap up today's episode, I want to emphasize that improving your concentration and focus can have a profound impact on your athletic performance. These skills allow you to block out distractions, perform under pressure, which is a huge distraction, and consistently reach your peak potential. Remember, the mind is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. So approach your mental training with the same dedication and consistency that you bring to your physical training. I know you're dedicated. If you're listening to this, I know you're dedicated to your physical training. So you've got to put in the reps with the mental training too. And as I'm rapt that you're listening to the podcast, but the podcast won't do the work for you. You have to do the work. So that's all for today's episode of Infinite Potential Sports Mindset Podcast. I hope these techniques for improving concentration and focus will help you take your performance to the next level. And honestly, DM me and let me know. I love to hear people's success stories. If you find this episode valuable, please share it with your teammates and fellow athletes, or take a selfie of yourself listening to it or watching it on YouTube, and post it in your stories and tag me, and I will share. And don't forget to subscribe to catch my next episode, as I would love to have you there. What are we talking about in the next episode? The mind body connection, which is huge, obviously, a big one. All righty. So until next time, keep pushing your limits and remember your potential is infinite. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.